Rain or shine, we are headed to Dollar Tree to find some cute gift bags we can craft with. I love crafting with these. And the first one, we're going to pair it with one of these picture frames. Love their selections. They have all kinds, especially these wooden ones are so pretty. Of course, we got to remove the plastic from it. And then I'm going to remove the center portion because I do want to stain the frame. The gift bag that we're going to use for this one has a vintage look, and I think it just calls for a darker tone. I'm going to use Waverly Antiquing Wax. This is just easier for me. You can use it whatever else you want, or you can even paint it or leave it the way it was. I'm just going to give it one coat and then let it dry. And I am going to pair it with this beautiful gift bag. It has a Santa style to it, and it is just so pretty. I'm going to cut it off, of course, because we are going to just need that front part. Now, it does have a back part that has the same design, although it is folded. So we're going to use the front side. I'm going to cut off the front, and then we are going to take the glass from the frame, just set it on top, and this is what we're going to use to guide our cuts. I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife. You can also trace it and then cut it with your scissors. It does not matter. Once it's cut, then it's time to place everything inside of it, just like you would any other picture. We're going to start with the glass, and then we are going to move on to the gift bag design and then the backing. Of course, you can leave it just like this. I think it looks gorgeous. But if you've ever worked with Rub and Buff add such a beautiful metallic tone to anything you apply it to. This is the golden one, and I'm just going to highlight this inner portion of the frame. It's a little lifted, and I just love the little detail that it brought. Is it major difference? No, but it is gorgeous. And I gotta tell you, I thought about adding so many more things to this, and I just thought I have to leave it like this because you have to know when to stop. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we are going to take this gift bag. It is a pretty good size, and I love the kind of like paper bag feel it has to it. I don't know what it is. Love it. Same thing we did earlier. We're just going to cut off the front portion, and we are going to use my X-Acto knife. Now, we're going to use both sides of the gift bag, okay? We're going to use the back and the front, and I'm going to show you why here in just a minute. We're going to start with the back one, the one that's folded. We're going to cut off all the snowman, just the top portion. We're going to leave them joined together, but we're just going to cut off that top portion of the gift bag. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other one, but this one, we are going to simply cut off the I guess it's like the mom snowman, and then the little kid, and then the other one. We're going to leave Dad out. He's going to be in the picture, but we're not cutting him out. All right. So now we're going to take this piece of cardboard. These come inside of the calendars from Dollar Tree, and we want to make these just a little thicker and easier to work with. So the 3 pieces that we removed, we are going to Mod Podge onto the cardboard, and then semi-dry. I was so impatient, friends, because I was so excited. Then we're going to cut them off. I'm going to flatten out, just cut off that folded portion of the initial one that we cut off. And we're going to add Mod Podge to the back, and we're going to add it on a flat canvas from Dollar Tree. This is because this is what we're going to use as kind of like the frame. Once it's attached, we are going to start adding the other pieces, and it's going to have a 3D look. So we're going to, like I mentioned, we're going to cut off the cardboard from the sides, and we're going to reveal each piece. We may have to cut like I'm doing here, just kind of mark and cut as needed. Then we're going to use tumbling tower blocks to create elevation in the back, and this is what's going to give it a 3D look. Love using these tumbling tower blocks. You know that I craft with them all the time. I want this to also have a light up, kind of like I want it to light up. So I'm going to take a string of fairy lights. I get my string of fairy lights on Amazon. You can get the ones at Dollar Tree, but the ones on Amazon come a whole bunch in a pack, and they're such a good deal. I'm going to drill a hole on the left side of the board, thread the string of lights from the back to the front, and then we're going to tape them piece by piece behind the snowman. And then we're going to take hot glue and stick them right there. See that? It's going to create an elevation and a 3D look. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other 2 pieces. Just wrap it around the tumbling tower blocks, attaching it with tape, then adding hot glue on the blocks, and then flipping it over and attaching it. Again, we're going to do that on the 3rd one. I love how this is coming out. All right, so we're going to tape the remaining cord from the back and then hot glue the battery back. That way we can have it secure but still have access to it. I'm going to add faux snow on the entire surface on the back canvas. So I'm just going to add Mod Podge, and it is going to overlap a little bit of the snowman because I do want it to have snow on them too, just on the edges. So first I'm going to do the background where Dad is, and then I'm going to remove the excess snow. I am going to use the paper as a funnel and then reuse it as needed. And I'm going to do that on the other side as well. And then I'm going to add it on the edge of the snowman. Again, this is just going to add more dimension, make it look more frosted, more wintry, Christmassy. And I love it. Wait until you see it all lit up. All right, so of course we want to add something to hang it. So I'm just going to add this very neutral burlap style ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm going to hot glue it, and I'm also going to tape it just to make sure that it's nicely attached. I'm going to add some of these frosted pigs that I found at Dollar Tree. I just felt like it called for it, and it has such a frosted look that it looks great with the design. Tell me this is not the cutest, and it was actually easy. Yes, it requires a few steps, but I think it's doable, it's easy, and it's such a fun piece. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take this beautiful gift bag. Boy, is it gorgeous. It has great colors. Again, we're just going to remove that front portion so it's easier to work with. Then we're going to use my X-Acto knife, and we're just going to remove the ornaments. Just the ornaments. I'm not worried about the words or even the little string holding them. Just the ornaments. And I'm going to do all three of them. I am going to pair it with one of these wooden rounds from Dollar Tree. We're going to remove the jute string. We're going to paint it in the Sandstone by Waverly. Now, it looks very similar to the color it already had, but I promise you, in person, it just gives it a brighter, more matte finish, and instead of looking unfinished. All right, we're going to use 3 ribbons from Dollar Tree. We're going to cut them into 24 inches, and we're going to do 2 of each. This is because we want to make a very fluffy bow. Now, recently on TikTok, I saw this other crafter make a bow with a zigzag design, and I thought I have to try it. We'll see. I am going to try to link her page on the description box. Hopefully I can find it again. But basically, I dovetailed cut the ends on each one, and then we're going to zigzag them just like that. So just face them in each direction and create that zigzag look, making sure that they're all matched in length. You see that? I'm keeping them right next to each other so that they each have the same length loops and strips. I did that with the red one, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the green one. Now I'm going to take one by one, and I'm going to scrunch them in the middle and hold them. Then I'm going to take the other one, scrunch in the middle, and join it to the other one. You see what I'm doing? Now, again, this is the first time I'm doing this technique. I found it that it's beautiful, the end result, but it does require a little bit more skill and work. So if you like it, I think it's worth trying. I loved it. I think it looks very full, very pretty. So once I had them all scrunched up, I tied it in the center with some string, and I'm just going to fluff as needed. We're going to make a few adjustments later on. All right, so the board is dry. I'm going to sand it smooth, and of course we want to remove any dust. And then we're going to start attaching the ornaments. I'm going to start dry fitting them first. Then we're going to add Mod Podge to the back of them and then just place them. I want the larger one to be kind of like at the bottom, and then the other 2 at the top, just one a little higher than the other. All right, so I'm going to bring in that rub and buff in the golden tone and just line the entire edge. I know you can't see it on the camera, but I'm telling you, this adds such a beautiful finish to it. And then I'm going to make sure that it kind of overlaps towards the front to add a little bit of kind of like a distressed look. I'm going to use this glittery gold ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut 3 pieces. This is going to be what the ornaments are going to kind of look what they're hanging from. I'm going to cut off a little piece from them, making them a little thinner, and then we're going to hot glue them onto each ornament and then remove the excess from the top with my X-Acto knife. Alright, so we are going to add more of that glittery golden ribbon in the center of the bow because I think it's just going to bring everything together. And then we're going to hot glue it to the top. And this is where we're just going to cut off a few pieces, just a few extra inches off of those top ones. I felt like it was just too high on the top. Alright, I found these little wooden stickers in my stash of stickers. It has a star and a golden finish with a glitter tone to it. And we're just going to add, I only had two, so I'm just going to add it on the ones that you're actually going to see. So the bottom ornament and then the other side. The other one is all covered up by the bow, so you won't see it. I'm going to add this leftover ribbon in the back with hot glue and tape, and that is it. Oh my gosh, I love the bow. It is so different. Again, check out the description box. I'm going to try to find her page. Love the way it looks, but I'd love to know what you think. Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take this humongous gift bag. It is large, which is why I'm giving you like a wide angle look here because it is large. All right, so we're going to remove it from the back and the excess paper from the sides. We're going to pair it with this very large 18-inch wood round. This is not from Dollar Tree. This is from Amazon. I'm going to have it linked below. If you make signs to sell, these are a great deal. I just love them. The quality, the thickness, so good. All right, so I sanded it smooth, wiped it well, and I'm just going to add antiquing wax on the edge because the design is not big enough to cover the entire thing, which I think it's great. I'm just going to add the stain. That way it's going to look nice and finished. Then I'm going to add Mod Podge on the entire thing. We're going to use the iron-on technique. So I'm going to add Mod Podge and then put it to the side to dry. While that is drying, we are going to remove the excess from the design, the excess paper from the sides. Now, you can't see it on the camera, but there is a small little line edge that is green, a different shade than the excess paper. So I'm going to try to keep it on that line. So this ribbon is from, I believe, Hobby Lobby, and it is a fall ribbon, and it has a reddish orangey tone, but I think it works. Let me know in the comments, does it work? Is it too fallish, too orange, or does it work with the tone that the design has? I think it does. I'm going to cut two pieces. One's 36 inches long, the other one's 24 inches. And then we're going to do my style of bows, which I think it's easier. You just want to loop it like an awareness ribbon and then scrunch it in the middle. So easy. Then we're going to take the other one. We're going to again do the same thing, loop it, making sure that the legs of the ribbon are where you want it. And then you want to scrunch it in the middle and then place it on top of that one. Again, we're going to use more string. We're just going to tie it in the center. And we are going to dovetail cut those ends for a finished look. And then you do want to fluff as needed, of course. And you can do that at the end, not right now. I'm going to take another little piece of that same ribbon. We're going to fold it 3 ways, but we're going to leave that little golden edge right in the middle. So when I place it right in the center of the bow, it's just going to look that nice and pretty, you know? We're going to hot glue it in the back and secure it in place. All right, we're going to put it to the side temporarily because now that the Mod Podge is dry, we're going to place the design on top. And then we're going to bring in my parchment paper and little iron, and we're just going to iron it in place. This works literally like magic. I can't even express to you how good this works. That being said, wait until I tell you what happened. I decided to add Mod Podge on the entire design to seal it because I figured, hey, let's seal it. It's going to be great. Oh my gosh, guys, it literally bubbled up so terribly. Look at this. After it was completely attached, not one single bubble. All right, moving on. So the Mod Podge is dry. We're going to try to fix this. So I'm going to take my parchment paper and we're just going to place it on top and iron it. I ironed this thing probably about 50 times back and forth, just trying to get those bubbles and those wrinkles out. So it's working somewhat. So again, I just decided to let's do this. I've worked too hard on this to let it go to waste. So I am going to iron and iron and iron, and it worked. Are there still a little bit of bubbles? Yes. Are they noticeable? Very, very little. So we're going to move on. We're going to attach the bow to the top with some hot glue and fluff it as needed. Then we're going to add some greenery picks. These are from Dollar Tree. And we're just going to add it in between the bows. This is going to really complement that dark green and the design. I think everything just really goes very, very well. And then I did add some ribbon in the back. You can see it right there. The neutral burlap style ribbon. And that's it, my friends. What a gorgeous wood round. It is massive. It is just gorgeous. The colors. And I'm so glad we made it work. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I have another video here for you with tons more of Dollar Tree DIY crafts inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.